a movie with Mark Wahlberg and John Goodman called The Gambler, roughly 2012, 2014. And not really a great movie because I tried to sit and watch part of it. However, John Goodman's character, and by the way, I think he carried the movie, or it was the single best scene, had something he defined as fuck you money. And I'll try to put the link to a YouTube video in the notes. But bottom line is, he basically said everyone should have fuck you money. Have you ever had fuck you money? And in the movie, he defined fuck you money as about $2.5 million. And that meant you basically could buy yourself a house with a 25-year roof, a indestructible Japanese shitbox, was his exact words. And then basically the interest would bet you pay your taxes and everything, and then you build from there because you have fuck you money. So if he doesn't like your boss, fuck you. If you start a business and it's not working out too well, fuck you. And the whole concept is, and then Mark Wahlberg's character, he was a billionaire's grandson, and he asked him if he'd ever had $2.5 million. He said yes. And then he asked him if his grandfather had $2.5 million. He said, well, maybe. And he goes, well, I guarantee, this is John Goodman's character, I guarantee that he had fuck you money. Because fuck you money allows you to take the risk that you need in order to build a business up. Basically a high risk, high reward proposition that falls under the 2 to 5% chances of any success at all, and the 1% chance of great success if you're going for the $1 billion club, or billionaire boys club, if I want to quote Mark Cuban. I thought it was an interesting target to hit. In some regards, I wish I had seen that when I was young. Would have given me the target I was looking for. My problem was I set my target too low and achieved it and kind of ran out of steam. And I always wondered if that steam was because of my age or the amount. I suppose I'll never know. But I hit the target in my early 40s and it seemed to lose sense of proportion. I know if I'd set a ridiculous target of say $1 billion, it wouldn't have been achievable. Bottom line is I'm not too upset. I have my original financial target in place, but now over time and inflation, it's not as much as it should be. So that $2.5 million, probably a pretty good thing. And then you build on that to at least take care of inflation every year, and then you basically maintain fuck you money when you're too old to effectively build a new business or to work your ass off in what you're doing. Basically dealing with the frustrations of running a business. It's funny, I got a black fly running around on me now. Speaking of frustrations, 2 new employees, highly educated. It is a part-time gig. And can I get these guys to show up on time? I truly do want to cut them loose, and I think I will. Their energy level when they're there is low, and I would argue they're only working about 50% of what they're able to do. I can actually feel it. I wish they'd understand that being just on time or always late is not acceptable. And I think they're literally oblivious, the twins. They're literally oblivious. With continuous excuses. The only saving factor is I might need them for my summer, but after that I think I'm going to cut them loose or just not give them any shifts. I just can't see the value in having them. So there's my frustration. Talked it out. Makes me think of Jimmy Pattison, who's a very wealthy man in BC. He's got to be 80 something now. And back in the 60s, he had car dealerships with an S. And apparently he used to fire in every dealership the worst performing salesperson each month. And he had the reputation for that, which he was glad he didn't really continue with it. But he said he basically did them a favor because they just weren't cut out for the business, which I thought was an interesting way to approach it. Obviously it was a motivating factor, but charity as well.